All right, week 4 college football breakdown. An old Southwest Conference rivalry, TCU, traveling just across the Metroplex, taking on SMU. Seeing TCU on the road actually is 2-point favorites here and a very high total at 70.5. It's a high total. It's not high enough. Best bet, 1.5 units in this game is on the over 70.5. Multiple reasons here. Two offensive-minded head coaches, Sonny Dykes. If you go look at his head coaching history at Cal and then actually at SMU here these past few years, not afraid to play high-scoring games. So check there. And then obviously Rhett Lashley at SMU comes from an offensive background, was at SMU and then at Miami more recently. So two offensive-minded head coaches, check. Pace, check, especially SMU. This year, SMU is running at a maniacally fast pace. So do think this is a high possession game, but both these teams are incredibly experienced offensively at some key spots. And more importantly, I have major concerns about each of these defenses that up to this point, especially on the TCU side, I don't think have been exploited yet. I mean, TCU's been lucky to play Colorado and Tarleton State. Those issues aren't going to be exploited in those kind of matchups, but they will be exploited by this sort of offense. Facing off against Tanner Mordecai, had all of last year as the starter, was quite effective. And I actually think this system might lend him to more success here in 2022. SMU can run the football, got some playmakers on the outside, and they are stout up front as well. TCU still, even after these first two blowout wins, ranks 80th by my defensive power ratings. I have major concerns. I've had them all offseason, and I think this is the kind of matchup where they will get exploited. I think they got major concerns on their front four. They do return a first-team All-Big 12 caliber cornerback, but other than that, I think their back seven is extremely attackable. I think SMU can exploit TCU in multiple ways. They run at a fast pace, experienced quarterback. I do think SMU is going to have a great deal of success offensively in this one. The same really goes for TCU, though. And I know we don't have clarity on who's going to play quarterback here. I don't really think it matters. Chandler Morris was the starter week 1. He got hurt against Colorado. In steps Max Duggan. I think Max Duggan could be the better option. I think he's probably the more consistent option. Maybe not the higher upside as a passer, but I mean, Max Duggan is pretty underrated. 9 yards per attempt last year. He's very mobile with his feet. He's fourth-year starter at this point. I think Max Duggan, is probably the safer bet for this game anyway. So I kind of do hope it's Duggan, actually. TCU has got big playability. Quentin Johnson on the outside at wide receiver. Mismatch against these SMU cornerbacks. Kendry Miller for TCU, 7.5 yards per carry last year, and it wasn't a secondary role, but this SMU defense got gashed against the run versus Maryland this past week. And, once again, TCU, very dependable along their offensive line, just 1 sack so far here in 2022. So both of these coaching staffs with Garrett Riley calling plays for TCU or Sonny Dykes, however you want to look at it, and then Rhett Lashley, these teams are going to leave no stone unturned. And there is some history here with Dykes coming over from SMU. This is going to be an all-out brawl, all-out shootout, considering the experience at quarterback, both the offensive lines, the big playability, and just the multiple ways each of these teams can create explosive plays. This game's going over the total. 1.5 unit, best bet for me. I like the over 70.5. Games like this, very high variance. Could be some turnovers here. Obviously, we're expecting a high-scoring game. I wouldn't worry about the side as much. I feel much stronger in just trusting both of these offenses to score at a pretty high clip. So yeah, over 70.5 is the best bet. Appreciate y'all watching the video. If you like what you heard today, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and don't miss any of the upcoming content. Comment your best look on this game down below. Side, total. If you're not a betting guy, just a prediction. Comment your best look on this game down below. You see this shirt right here. I know you've been staring at it the whole time. Go to proud90.com. Unique but very comfortable polos as well. Also got t-shirts, hoodies, quarter zips. Proud90's got all your golf apparel needs. If you see anything you like at checkout, use code Fordham. It's going to get you 15% off your entire order. Support me. Support Proud90. Proud90.com.